Talking About Books, Episode 5. Today, I am here with Houston. Hi, Houston.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
That's wonderful. And we are here to talk about some of the books you've read this summer. Do you enjoy reading?
Yes.
That's great. What are you currently reading?
The Mutts.
The Mutts. Oh, okay, that's a compilation of all the comic strips.
Yes.
The Mutts comic strips. Okay. Well, we're going to start with the first book that you read this summer, and that was The Buried Bones Mystery, which is part of the Clubhouse Mysteries series by Sharon Draper. How did you like the book?
It was great.
Good. What was your favorite part?
When they found the bones.
Okay, and what led them to discover the bones?
They thought it was like blood or treasure.
Mm-hmm. What did they do? How did they happen upon the bones? Like, what led them to find them?
They found it buried.
Mm-hmm. Why were they digging?
To like bury the fireworks or something.
Oh, okay. So in the picture, it looks like they're building a clubhouse. Is that the same place they found the bones?
Yes. It was in the bushes.
Oh, I see. And why were they burying the fireworks?
Because they said they're too young.
So they weren't supposed to have the fireworks.
Yes.
So the boys in the book did a lot of mischievous things, a lot of things that they should not have done.
I think that's the only thing they did.
That
was not posted to do.
Okay. Well, which one of the four boys was your favorite character?
Ziggy.
Ziggy? And is that the one with the red, yellow, black hat and the locks?
Yes.
With the hammer? Okay. Why do you like him?
Because he was funny.
He was funny. Are you funny? Are you that type of student in school?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You like to have fun?
Yes.
Make other people laugh?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Was there a part of the book where they go to the library? What was that about?
To find what kind of bone was it?
Mm-hmm. And who did they meet in the library?
Mr. Green.
Oh, okay. Were there a lot of adults in the book?
Not much. Yeah, there's like some.
Okay. But it's usually the story revolved around the boys.
Yes.
Okay. And so would you consider this a boy book? A book that boys would definitely like to read?
Yes.
Okay. I see you're comfortable. If you had to rate this book from 1 to 5, where 1 is not good and 5 is great, where would you rate the book?
4.
You would give it a 4? That's good. Are you interested in reading the next one? Because it's a series, so that means they have different mysteries that they solve. Would you continue reading the series?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think a teacher would like to include the series in her class?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. If you could straighten up just a little, because I'm starting to just see, I'm not seeing your whole face. There you go. There you go. That's much better. The next book that you read was Africa is Not a Country by Margie Burns Knight, Mark Melnickov, and illustrated by Anne Sibley O'Brien. What are your thoughts about this book?
It had some good illustration. Like it had some good drawings.
Oh, okay. And you like to draw?
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. So one of the pictures from the book includes the different African nation flags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember any of the name of the nations that they mentioned in the book?
They mention one called Sowila. They mention one called uh uh
Can you name an African nation? Because I think, there are 53, and they talked about many of them in the book, just to kind of provide a description of like the terrain. Like in some parts of Africa, it's very dry. In other parts, it snows. In other parts, it's hot, like very hot. In some parts, it's pretty mild. And they talked about like the different games the children play. Was there a particular game that you saw that they talked about?
there was like soccer. There's like a pebble one, and there's like I think there's like some more, like
Mm-hmm.
where you collect some pebbles and see who got the most.
Mm-hmm.
And they played more games. That was like some was like 1,000 and other was like 700.
Oh, okay. So you basically see kids doing the same things you do.
Yeah,
Was that surprising to you?
kinda.
Okay. Okay. Well, you learned something different, right? They also show like the different types of homes that the kids live in, and the different types of cities and countryside. Um, I know the book stated that if you take the land of the United States and added it to the lands of China, Japan, and Europe, Africa would still be bigger. So the book does a really good job of trying to make sure everyone understands that Africa is not a country. What is it?
It's a continent.
Right, it's a continent. And unlike other continents, it is divided into two almost equal lengths by the equator. And it is nearly as wide as it is long. So that is just some of the things that
But
make.
but there's more. Like they sit in these pillow things that look really country.
They do what? You're moving the thing, boo. You have to be still and sit up. And say it again.
They move the sit on these uh pillows instead of these are chairs.
Yeah, in some places, and some of the nations or countries within Africa, they have different customs. And so some have furniture that looks like the furniture you're used to seeing, and some sit on really thick pillows, right? Some have houses that look like the house you live in, and some live in huts or homes made of mud. So it's just a variety of houses and custom. Like some of them have uniforms and backpacks and stuff when they go to school. So what was something that you learned that you did not know?
I didn't. know that they are that big, and like in the picture, I didn't know there was like a lot of black people
Right,
or
right.
African Americans.
Well, no, not African Americans. They're that's where they are. So they're Africans, and so they probably call themselves, like people from Nigeria consider themselves Nigerian. Um, People from Ghana are just, you know, from Ghana, and so the Sudanese are from Sudan. So it's every nation, they have their own identities. And so that's why it's always important, if you meet people and you're not sure where they're from, is to not just lump everybody together. Just ask, like, what's your nation, or what nation are you from? And that way, if they say they're from Liberia, then they're Liberian. And so you don't have to just kind of lump them all together, because every nation has, distinct identity. So the book includes information, overview of like Cameroon, like what that looks like, or what they do there. There's Botswana and other countries. So it's a really good book. You think teachers should use this book to talk about Africa when they teach social studies?
Yes.
Would you have liked to have had this book in class?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good book. And so if you had to rate this book from 1 to 5, where 1 is not so good and 5 is great, where would you rate this book?
A 4.
Okay, you sticking with that 4. That's good. That's good. The next book you read was Jaden Toussaint, The Greatest, Episode 1, The Quest for Screen Time, written by Marty Dumas, illustrated by Marie Boravsky. So, what did you think of this book?
Uh, it was real. It was reliable. Like I'm like
Relatable?
kids. Yeah. Like I'm like him sometimes.
You see yourself in Jaden? How?
By getting screen time a lot.
You want you have a lot more, you have access to a lot more screen time than Jaden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something your parents probably need to work on. Why did he want more screen time?
Cause he didn't get a lot, and he was so addicted.
Right. So his parents believe that he really should just, focus on projects, reading books, playing games, finding creative things to do with his time. And they didn't allow him to play a lot of games. So sometimes when they were doing something, they would give him their phone to kind of quiet him up, or if they were talking about something that they didn't want him to pay attention to, he could play on their phone. And that got him really focused on increasing his screen time, because he liked when he played on their phone and they would not get him one. So what did he do about it?
He asked them he asked all 3 siblings in the bath and in the car and kitchen in his bedroom, but nothing seemed to work.
Right. He kept asking them, can I use your phone? And they were like, no. So what happens at school that at first made it seem like he may have gotten some screen time?
Yes.
So what happened at school?
He 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 went to school and he saw a teacher, but they didn't get homework for the first half of the year, and so he asked his mom why it's unfair, and she said because they're new.
Right. Right. So at his school, because this is kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
And some of them were just coming from home or homeschools or preschool or daycare. And, you know, they didn't want to overwhelm them. So for the first half of the year, they didn't have any homework. But the second half of the year, they started with homework, and the teacher sent home one of those homework bingo matrices where you choose how you want to get bingo by choosing your assignments that you're going to complete for homework. And so she did put screen time in the middle. And that was because he asked her, right?
Yeah.
Right. So he was real excited to complete his homework because he thought, well, if I do a diagonal or if I do this way, I'll get to get more screen time. But what happened?
He didn't because he asked his dad, and he said, "What's?" And he said, "There's four. There's four for screen time. That means it's most important." But Dad said, "Well, there's more. There's four for other ones."
Right. He was like, there are other ways to get bingo or to get a line than to go through the ones that you would need to go through to get screen time. So that did not work. So what did he do then when he went back to school?
He did he got everyone to sign up their names, and then he told the teacher he was impressed, and his mom said, "I love you."
Okay, yeah, because we won't give away too much. I know it may sound like we have, but yeah, so he becomes an activist, right? He goes, he does a petition, he gets all the kids in the class to sign it, which was, you know, a funny thing because they're kindergartners, and so you can imagine what that looked like in the book. And then he got some adults and some administrators to sign, and the teacher was just so impressed that she called home to let the mother know. And so what was the end result? Did he get more screen time?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I like how the author kind of leaves that there. So we don't want to give it away. So we're going to let people, you know, go out and check the book out of the library or order it and kind of figure out what happens. So on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is not so good and 5 is great, what did you think about this book?
5.
Oh, okay. You really like this one because you saw yourself in Jaden. Did you like the illustrations?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that in
It
which
was
one of?
kind of fun. It's kind of funny.
Yes. All right. So the last book you've read was Crown, an ode to the fresh cut by Derek Barnes, illustrated by Gordon C. James. Huh?
What does old mean?
An ode, I want to always give the right definition. So an ode is a lyric poem in the form of an address to a particular subject, often elevated in style or manner and written in varied or irregular meter. It is also a poem that's meant to be sung. So in the book, we see a lot of instruments, like the picture here, and that's kind of to kind of lend the notion that you should sing.
That I when I read it, I first figured out he rhymed before he got his haircut.
Yeah, yeah, he rhymes a lot. And
Like
so if
the
you read it like, so it's kind of like a rap.
Yes.
Did you read it like a rap? Did
Yes.
you put all the body movements and get it all in the rhythm in your spirit and feelings, and did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can write an ode to anything that you want to focus or bring attention to. So, you know, if you have a favorite pair of sneakers, you can write an ode to my favorite pair of sneakers. And you can do it in rhyme so that people can sing it or rap it or however. So this one, what was your favorite part of the book?
The favorite part was the wines.
Mm-hmm.
I like the wines a lot.
And did you like the illustrations?
Yes.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Because you mentioned earlier you draw. Do you like, which book did you like the illustrations in the best?
This one?
This one, because they were pop full of color.
Yeah.
They have some great backgrounds across some of the pages that are flat and take like the whole page, like this one. It takes the page before and the page, you know, the whole spread, as opposed to just half of the spread. What did you feel that you could relate to the fresh cut going to the barbershop?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a barber?
Yes.
What's his name? Is he like the barber in the book?
Not really, but his name's Mr. Fred.
Mr. Fred, is Mr. Fred like the barber in the book? Not really. Why you say not really?
Because, well, he does give fresh cuts, but
Yeah. He doesn't give you a fresh cut. Is that what you're saying? You kind of get it cut really low because you have a different hair texture. You get yours cut like Mr. Barnes here, the author of the book, really low. Mm-hmm. What else? Was there a favorite scene? Was there you had a favorite part of the book?
it was just the wines.
You just like the rhymes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself a rhymer, a lyricist,
Not
a
really.
rapper?
Not really.
I know you probably could dance because you were wiggling all around. Um, Not really. Do you write?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And do you make up silly rhymes around your house?
Yes, not sometimes.
Sometimes. I think it's in everyone. Yeah. To make up silly rhymes here or there. Sing. Okay. So if you had to rate this book on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is not so great and 5 is great, where would you rate this one?
4.9.
A 4.9. Okay. You almost gave it a perfect score. That's great. So the last two were your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden was definitely your favorite, and The Crown was next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we'll have to have you back to discuss Mutt when you finish that, because that book is pretty thick, because it is a compilation of all of that artist's comic strips. So thank you for being our guest today. Take care.
Take care.
Okay. Thank you all for listening. And if you can, be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and follow Talking About Books on YouTube. The URL is on the screen under Wonder Boy. Thank you again and have a great day.